What happens when a girl in a wheelchair meets a wild, untamable horse? You might expect fear, but what unfolds is something unbelievable. What happened next? You won't believe how this horse changed her life forever. From the moment she reached out to him, something deep inside both of them began to heal. If you're moved by stories of courage, connection, and second chances, this one will stay with you long after the final word. Call to action. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you've ever seen a bond quite like this before, it was a warm summer afternoon at Willow Creek Fairgrounds. The kind of day that felt full of promise. Tents lined the grassy fields, colorful banners fluttering gently in the breeze. The annual Equestrian Festival had drawn crowds from all over, laughter and music filling the air as horses trotted proudly through the arena, their riders guiding them with grace. Among the spectators sat Lila, a young girl with soft brown hair and eyes that held both strength and sadness. She wore a simple dress, her hands resting lightly on the wheels of her chair. 3 years ago, a car accident had changed everything for her. Once a fearless rider, she now watched from the sidelines, heart aching with every jump and gallop. Her mother, Clara, sat beside her, gently squeezing her hand. "You okay, sweetheart?" she asked, voice full of warmth and concern. Lila nodded, though her smile didn't quite reach her eyes. "It's beautiful," she said softly, watching a sleek black stallion perform a perfect turn. "I just miss being out there." Clara kissed her forehead, knowing better than to offer empty words. Then came the announcement. "Ladies and gentlemen," the announcer called, his voice echoing across the field. "Today, we have something special, a chance to see who can earn the trust of our most untamable guest, Storm." A hush fell over the crowd. Storm was no ordinary horse. A towering white stallion with piercing blue eyes. He had arrived at the fairgrounds only weeks before, brought in from a rescue center. No one could control him. Trainers had tried and failed. He was wild, unpredictable, powerful. As Storm was led into the ring, he reared back, hooves striking the air with raw energy. Murmurs rippled through the stands. Then, without thinking, Lila raised her hand. "I want to try." The words left her lips before she could stop them. Gasps followed, whispers of disbelief. Even Clara turned to her, eyes wide. "Lila, are you sure?" But it was too late. The announcer had already spotted her. "We have a brave volunteer," he announced, signaling for someone to help her down to the arena. Clara bit her lip, tore between fear and pride, but didn't stop her. Lila wheeled herself forward, heart pounding with every inch closer she got to Storm. The handlers hesitated, clearly unsure about letting a girl in a wheelchair near such a powerful creature. But the announcer shrugged. Why not? Everyone deserves a chance. And so Lila stepped, or rather rolled, into the spotlight. Storm snorted, pacing restlessly, eyes darting around the arena. The crowd watched in tense silence. Lila stopped a few feet away, holding her breath. Slowly, she extended her hand. "Hey there, boy," she whispered, voice steady despite the nerves churning inside her. "I'm not here to hurt you. Just want to get to know you." Storm flinched, ears flicking forward and back. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then, slowly, he lowered his head. Lila's breath caught. She took another small step forward, then another, until her fingers brushed against his warm coat. A collective gasp rose from the audience. "That's it, boy," she murmured, her touch gentle. "You don't have to be afraid." Minutes passed. The world seemed to hold its breath. Then, suddenly, a loud laugh burst from one of the nearby tents, and Storm startled, jerking back with a sharp neigh. The handlers rushed forward. "Wait," Lila said, raising a hand. "Let me handle this." They hesitated, then stepped back. Taking a deep breath, Lila leaned forward. "It's okay, boy. It was just a noise. I'm still here." She opened her arms, palms upturned, an offering, not a demand. Storm tensed, then, after a long pause, took a tentative step toward her. The crowd erupted in applause. Tears welled in Clara's eyes. The announcer took the mic again. This is incredible. What we're witnessing right now isn't just bravery, it's heart. But just as the moment settled, a new sound pierced the air, a child's cry. A little boy had slipped past the barriers and was running straight toward the arena. "No!" someone shouted. Storm reared up, snorting wildly. Handlers raced forward, but Lila was faster. "Storm!" she called, voice firm yet calm. To everyone's shock, the horse dropped his hooves back to the ground. Lila wheeled herself toward the boy, reaching out. "Come here, sweetheart," she said gently. The boy stumbled toward her, trembling. Lila helped guide him safely back to his mother, who pulled him into a tearful hug. When she looked back, Storm was watching her, almost respectfully. The announcer shook his head in awe. "This girl, she doesn't just understand horses. She connects with them." The applause grew louder. But Lila wasn't done. She turned back to Storm, whispering, "Thank you, my friend." He nuzzled her shoulder, and in that moment, she knew this wasn't the end. It was a beginning. Later that evening, as golden light bathed the grounds, whispers of Lila's story spread like wildfire. Some were amazed, others skeptical. Among them stood two trainers, arms crossed. "This is insane," one muttered. "A girl in a wheelchair handling that horse? Ridiculous." The other tugged his hat lower. "Maybe, but if she pulls it off, imagine what that'll do to us." Unbeknownst to them, Madison, one of the event coordinators, was listening. She approached Lila and Clara later that night. "That was incredible," she said, voice filled with admiration. "If you're serious about working with Storm, we'd like you to compete in tomorrow's freestyle exhibition." Clara stiffened. "Are you sure that's safe?" Madison nodded. "It's a risk, but if she can prove control over him in front of everyone, it could change everything for both of them." Lila's eyes lit up. "I'll do it." Clara sighed. "Only if things go wrong, you stop." "Deal." All night, Lila stayed with Storm, speaking softly, brushing his coat, letting him get used to her presence. "You don't have to do anything you don't want to," she whispered. "Just know I'm here." Storm let out a soft whinny, leaning into her touch. The next morning, the arena buzzed with anticipation. Lila tightened the straps on Storm's gear, whispering, "Easy, boy. Today's just to show them who you really are." Madison gave the signal. The gates opened. Applause rose. Lila guided Storm into the center of the ring, heart racing. She started with the basics, circles, turns, every movement flawless. Then came the jumps, the fire ring, the controlled stops. Storm obeyed each command, trusting her completely. At one point, a sudden balloon pop startled him, but Lila stayed calm. "Storm," she said firmly, "look at me." His eyes met hers. He calmed. The crowd cheered louder than ever. By the end, even the judges stood in admiration. Days passed. Lila and Storm continued training, growing stronger together. Then came the final competition. Open category. Top trainers from across the country. Grace worried endlessly. But Lila was ready. On the day of the event, they entered the ring one last time. Their performance was breathtaking. High jumps, spins, perfect harmony. When the results were announced, first place, the crowd roared. But for Lila, the real prize wasn't the trophy. It was Storm's gaze, steady, loyal, full of love. In the years that followed, Lila and Storm became symbols of hope. They visited farms, schools, therapy centers, inspiring kids and adults alike. Eventually, Lila pursued equine therapy, helping others find healing through horses. Storm remained by her side, always together. They proved that true strength comes not from power, but from understanding, patience, and trust. So, if you made it this far, thank you. Please leave a comment, tell us where you're watching from, and rate this story from 0 to 10. And if you enjoyed this tale of courage, connection, and second chances, hit subscribe. Because sometimes the most unlikely bonds become most unforgettable stories.